Hello, welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, the entertainment, the boxing capital of the world. My co-host, Shelley Steven.
Hey, good to be back.
Yeah.
Glad to have you back.
Yeah, I came back from New York. It was nice. This show today is going to be a little special because, I was in New York this past weekend. I was inducted to my Hall of Fame at the New York Ring 8 Boxing Hall of Fame. It was an honor because that's where I originally started my whole career in boxing. As a fighter, Golden Gloves, professional, and then as a professional referee. And I got inducted to the Hall of Fame. It's really been an honor for me.
We're so proud of you.
When I got there, you hear these guys. You hear the bell ring. You say, "Wait!" You stop ringing. You hear the bell ring. You everybody start throwing punches at the Hall of Fame. But anyway, it's so nice to be here. And so they said, my trophy that they presented to me, my Ring 8 Hall of Fame induction trophy. This is the belt, like a championship belt.
That's so gorgeous.
And of course, I got my gloves there in case anybody wants to tangle with me now. I'm ready. But Shelley, it was so nice, being in New York. It was the weather was beautiful. Mm-hmm. My friend Horace that you met with Shelley, with your husband Wesley, up in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
Horace was there.
Good.
Horace, he came all the way from Florida.
Wow.
And a bunch of friends from New York and New Jersey that were there. And it was just a lot of fun,
Yeah, well, we sure did miss you around here, but I'm happy we had that going away party for you the night before. That was great.
We had a little go away party when I was at Lola's.
Yeah.
We had a good time. But when I was in New York, I was talking a lot about you guys and about Lola's, what a fine Cajun type restaurant, Louisiana type of food where you guys perform.
Yeah.
You and your husband perform 5 nights a week. I was telling people about you guys. They said, "Well, we got to get them up to New York here one day."
Let's go.
They're not too far from Philadelphia, where you used to live in Philadelphia.
That's right.
But a lot of people from Philadelphia were there as well.
Oh, wow.
A lot of ex-champions were there. Wow. It was just a pleasure being there.
Oh, my goodness.
And they had like 560 people, 560
Really?
was the total attendance.
Wow.
It was really nice. It was Russo's by the Bay in Queens, New York.
Oh, nice.
At Harvard Beach area. Mm-hmm. It was very nice. I tell you, I felt like, wow, I couldn't believe it. I said, I've already been retired 12 years. And here they're still using me for all these events. I can't believe it.
I know. I think you might have some pictures to show from the event. You want to show them?
Yeah, I think
Yeah? Okay.
that's what I'm making my...
All right, so who is that now?
I'm the champion, Ron McNair, who's holding the belt. He's holding my trophy. I'm speaking there by the microphone to the audience. And I took 10 minutes of my time to talk to the audience.
Yeah.
They said, "Joe, you got maybe about 2 minutes." I said, "I got too much to say." So I took about 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it was good. There's Amanda Serrano. She got a trophy. She was actually not inducted, but they gave her a trophy for what she's done in boxing so many years.
That's
as a professional. She's a 4-time world champion. And I remember when she fought in Madison Square Garden, she sold out the garden. The first female main event in Madison Square Garden.
Really?
It was her and some Irish fighter from Ireland who fought. She fought this Irish girl, 3 times, and 3 times she lost to her, but they were battles. But she did real good. Real nice girl, very special, from Puerto Rico.
Oh,
And,
nice.
Here's with the president, John McNair. Actually, there's another gentleman there that presented me, Jose Rogel, something like that. He presented me with the belt as well.
Oh.
Very, very nice. I mean, that's the belt you got here.
Oh.
Very special.
Wow.
But that's how it all started. All started in New York because of my accomplishment. That was the Eastern Golden Glove Championship when I was 17 years old there. I knocked out 2 guys the same night in Madison Square Garden. That's it right there. And the picture on the right, that picture was the whole back page of the New York Daily News.
Really?
And I said, wow, I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
And the fighter laying down, I think Ralph Jackson, I believe his name was. You can see his mouthpiece in the air near his arm. See a mouthpiece in the air.
Wow.
And it was just, and then the other fighter stopped him one in the first round, one in the second round.
What memories.
And my brother Mike that night, he won as well. One by decision, one by knockout. And from there we went up to Bear Mountain. They were trained there for about a week and a half, and they flew us to Chicago to fight for the intercity bout with New York versus Chicago. We considered it back the National Golden Glove Championship. My brother Mike and I. My brother beat a fellow by the name of Tommy O'Shea, and I beat a fighter by the name of Oscar German. And Oscar German had beaten Emmanuel Stewart, the great trainer Emmanuel Stewart. One day we were in Germany. He said, "Joe, are you that skinny Puerto Rican from New York?" I beat Oscar German for a national championship. I said, "That's me, buddy." I was in Germany. I was going to fight in Germany as a referee. He said, "Joe," he said, "you and I would have fought, but I got beaten by Oscar German, and you beat Oscar German." I said, "Yeah, I beat him. One of my easiest fights ever. Even though it's a national championship, the guy was a good puncher, but I would hit and don't get hit. I came home real clean, no marks on my face. So I was very lucky."
You have some amazing stories. When you said something about the mouthpiece, I remember the story you told me once before about how you caught a mouthpiece or something that flew somewhere.
Yeah, it was here.
What happened with that?
It was here in Prim, Nevada. There was a fighter, two fighters fighting, and the guy got hit with a mouthpiece, and the mouthpiece went flying up in the air. And I looked at it, and I caught it. I did like a Willie Mays catch. Boom, caught it, and I popped it back in his mouth. And people said, "Joe, you're crazy. How do you do that?" I said, it looked good, but I told referees, don't do that. Because that second or two, I took my eyes off the fighter, and the guy would have hit me, knocked him down. I don't know if it was a knockdown or a slip.
Yeah.
So I said, don't do what I did. It looks good, but don't do what I did.
But it's good you did what you did.
That was crazy with the mouth. But there's another story. My good friend Larry Hazard, commissioner from New Jersey, was a great, excellent referee, and he was telling me, and he's a commissioner today. He's been the commissioner for over 30 years. And he told me, "John," he said, "you told me the story about my son, Larry Hazard Jr. We were doing a fight in Germany, and the fighters were fighting. I was in the ring with these fighters, and the mouthpiece went flying. He dislodged the mouthpiece with a punch. The mouth got dislodged, and it went flying out of the ring. And I went that direction, and that's the direction where Larry Hazard Jr. was sitting. And they were looking for the mouthpiece. I called time, sent the fighters to the neutral corner. At the time, they look for that mouthpiece. They're trying to find, they don't have a second mouthpiece. Now that's why the fighters got to have a second mouthpiece in the bucket ready to go.
Okay.
And they couldn't find a mouthpiece. They were looking and looking, couldn't find. And somebody said, "Look at this, look in the guy's pocket." Meaning Larry had a tuxedo. You look at his pocket, sure enough, the mouthpiece was in his pocket. Crazy stuff that happened like that.
Oh my goodness. Well, at least they fell into your pocket and you caught it so it didn't go on the floor. So that was a good thing.
That was a good thing. I didn't have to call time out or nothing. I just popped it right back in his mouth. And people say, "Wow." But there was things that you do that hardly ever happen. You're never going to see that happen in boxing ever. But you can happen in a million years. You don't see somebody's mouthpiece go flying there, and the referee catches it and puts it back in his mouth. It's crazy. But it happened to me. So anyway, so being at the Hall of Fame in New York was great. It was a beautiful place. Roosters by the Bay. One of the most beautiful ballrooms you want to see. I guess they have weddings there, whatever. But they have 550 people there, and Sylvie was there with me, and
Nice.
so many friends, and it was just amazing weekend. And then, coming back, it was like, wow, leaving New York, driving from from Queen Harvard Beach area to the airport, only like 10, 15 minutes away. And I said, I want to go to the city, but I'm going to save that for maybe during the summer. I want to go there and spend like a week in New York if I can.
Yeah, we'd like to do that too, go back east.
I want to go to Puerto Rico too, because I haven't been to Puerto Rico in a good 4 or 5 years. I want to go there.
That'd be nice.
I'm going to be going to different parts. I like to travel. I'm supposed to be going to Argentina sometime in July.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's Buenos Aires.
I'm going to be giving a championship belt to the president, President Milei. I'm going to be presenting with a world championship belt from the Universal Boxing Association. So they said, "Joy, they want you to present the belt to the president." I said, "All right, good." I said, "In July, they may have, if they have an event there, that'd be good too." So let's see what happens.
Oh, wow. You've been doing so much. You're like such an inspiration to so many young people out there. And that's why we so appreciate you when you come out to Lola's and everybody wants to talk to you, young and old. And you have so many good, wise things to say.
When you say
We love
old, people say, Joe, how old are you? I say, no, I'm not. How young am I? Because I don't let that old man get in my body. I want to keep going all the time. You can't stop me. I'm up early in the morning. I'm always running around nonstop. I keep myself in tip-top shape. I still got a little spark of the old flesh.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you have more energy than a lot of people that I know.
And doing these shows been good, but because I keep myself active. I'm not an active referee, but I like to do this show once a week. And this show here that we do, the Joe Cortez Show every week, with my co-host Shelley Stevens, is an amazing show because we're out there to reach out to people. We love people out there. Rick Manning, he was a director of the studio here. He's an engineer. He's an all-around guy. Rick Manning is kind of a loving kind of guy. You don't find many people like Rick Manning. Rick Manning is the kind of guy you say to yourself, why can't everybody be like Rick Manning? Why can't everybody be like Shelley or Joe Cortez? We love and care for people out there. We always trying to do the best we can. I say, if you want to be rewarded with something in life, be kind to people. There is a God watching over you to see what's going on in your life. Try to do the right thing because, Shelley, so many people are just not doing the right thing. They got to be humble and caring.
Yep.
I can brag all I want, and I don't do that. When I'm showing up just building all that is because I want people to say, you in New York? But I'm not bragging about it.
No.
There's other guys more deserving than I am, I think, to get built like that. There's so many fighters and referees and judges and people in boxing. I always say, I'm glad I got this, but in my heart, my thing is, I wish I could get everybody's heart in my heart.
No.
Because I love people out there.
Yeah, we know you do, especially at Lola's. Like I said, you're just amazing whenever you come there. You bring such light and love into the restaurant. And by the end of the night, everybody's friends with everybody and everybody's kissing and hugging each other. It's a beautiful family.
That's the best way to be.
Yeah.
And that's why when I come here, I see Rick. I'm so happy coming here because I've been with Rick 8, 9 years, whatever. It's been many years. But I remember one day I bought Earth, Wind, and Fire on the show, and I had him on the show, and when Rick had the studio at another location on Decatur, and it was so nice, and those guys, especially John, I believe it's John Horn, and I think it's John Horn, and for Earth, Wind, and Fire, they come in here, they perform here like once a year, they'll be coming later in November, they'll be here again. I'm going to be going to see them again. And I'm telling them to bring you and Wesley, because you got to meet him when we went to my friend's house.
Yeah.
We had dinner at my friend's Vinny's house, and Lucy. It's a great cooking, his wife Lucy. And Earth, Wind, and Fire said, Joe, this cooking is unbelievable. We come here more often to Las Vegas. But we're going to do that. But I bring so many individuals on the show, because people that I care for, people that one day I was with my good friend, Gilberto Santa Rosa. He's a Latin singer from Puerto Rico. They call him Salsero. And he's just a good, great singer. And he wanted to go see Wayne Newton. And Wayne Newton was performing a couple of years, about 3 years ago. He was performing at Bradley's Hotel. And he said, Joe, I got 2 tickets. I want to see Wayne Newton. My wife really doesn't want to go. Will you go with me? And let the girls go shopping. You and I go see the show? I said, sure. Wayne Newton, I never seen him in person. Well, I mean, not performing, but I knew Wayne Newton from the fight. He used to always come to the fights. He was about 6'1", 6'2", big guy. He's always come in with a cowboy hat. He comes to the fight. He sit at ringside with his wife. And I said, okay. So he said, let's go see Wayne Newton. So when we got there, we got on the VIP line, and I told Gilberto, my friend Gilberto, you got that ticket? Hold on to the ticket. I'm going to go to the men's room. I'll be right back. When I did, I snuck around. I tried to find out who's in charge of the front, and I gave it a lady who's in charge of the PR person. I gave her my business card. I said, tell Wayne Newton that I'm here, Joe Cortez, here to see him. He knows who I am. So I said, well, I don't want my friend to know. It's a surprise to my friend, Gilberto Santa Rosa. So she went up. I get back on the line with Gilberto. We're in the line, and we go inside. This is a nice little round table, something like this. Gilberto's sitting there, and I'm sitting there. Maybe a couple of hundred people in the place. It was not a big theater. It was a smaller theater. And Wayne Newton starts performing. He's singing a lot of it's a small piece, about 5-piece band, not a big band, and then in the middle of the show, he stopped. He said, "Excuse me, wait, I gotta say something. I got somebody in the house here, a good friend of mine, a boxing referee, Joe Cortez." And when he said Joe, and I looked, he looked at me like his eyes was open. He couldn't believe it. He said, "Joe, will you stand up?" And I stood up and I went and the lights on the table. And he said, "Joe, you didn't tell me that you knew him," in Spanish. "Tú no me dijiste que tú lo conocías." You didn't tell me that you knew him. Anyway, I said, "Yes, surprise." Anyway, after the show was over, they took us around the back to meet Wayne Newton in person. I told Wayne, this guy, Gilberto Santa Rosa, one of the most popular singers in Latin America. Gilberto Santa Rosa performed Carnegie Hall 5 times already.
Wow.
He said, "Joe," he looked down at Gilberto Santa Rosa, because Gilberto's about 5'8", and Wayne Newton like 6'. He looked down and said, "Joe, 5 times?" He said, "I haven't performed there, not even once yet." Anyway, Gilberto was saying, and then that night we went back home, and in the morning his wife, Alexandra, called Sylvia and said, "Sylvia, you don't believe, Gilberto couldn't sleep at all last night thinking about how he met his idol, Wayne Newton." So that was a great thing.
Oh.
But, and this is why, nice people like Gilberto, a nice guy like Wayne Newton. Wayne Newton happens to be one of the nicest guys I've ever met in the entertainment field.
Mm-hmm.
I met so many people at the fights, and I remember one time when Sylvester Stallone, I was ready to go in the ring to do a fight. I got a tap on the shoulder, and Sylvester Stallone sitting with Sugar Ray. I looked back. He said, "Joe, I'm doing a movie, Rocky Balboa. You'll be my referee." I said, "Wait a minute, let me do my fight. We'll talk when I come out the ring, okay?" But you get to meet so many people. Bruce Willis was another nice guy, and one a very special guy, always with me all the time, was Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson was always, I had to sit with him at ringside before I did the championship fight. Him and I would sit there for 2.5 hours sitting together and watch the preliminary, and we would ask him all kinds of questions about the preliminary fights that are going on, or the co-main event. Then I would do the main event. But him and I sat in touch for so many years.
You have to write your memoirs. We have to get this together. We keep saying
Eddie Murphy, when they came up to me, "Joe, you got to be, hey, kind of, not funny, he was more serious." He said, "Joe, doing a movie, I'm doing a movie called I Spy, and we're filming up in Canada." Mm-hmm. And I said, "Oh, okay, when?" He said, "In about 2 or 3 months, you be my referee." I said, "Sure, I'm going to get in there." Eddie didn't know nothing about throwing punches. I had to teach him how to throw the punches to the body. I said, hit him hard to the body. He said, "I don't want to hurt him, Joe." I said, "Wait a minute, Eddie, the guy's a professional fighter. Huh? You're here to work out with the guy. You're here, the boxers here, make it look authentic, make it look real, okay?" He said, okay. So we had a lot of fun doing that. Eddie and I spent 6 days together doing that, just like I did with Sylvester Stallone. Those 6 days with Sylvester was amazing. So, it was just an honor being with these nice people. But, God's been good to me. I've been blessed, and I don't have an agent. People say, "Joe, we watch you in the fight," and all these celebrities. Shaquille O'Neal, one of the nicest guys you want to meet. Great basketball player. He's another guy that always called me over. "Joe, come in. Will you be my friend? Can you take a picture of my friend?" Shaquille O'Neal, so nice. I had a little kid that was sitting at ringside with Bob Bennett's grandson, nephew. They bring the kid over, the little 5-6-year-old kid, bring him over to Shaquille. Shaquille, take a picture with this young kid. No problem. He picked up the kid, held him up. Nice. You get to meet a lot of good people out there.
Yeah.
It was so many good people. You met so many people. You met Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And you met so many.
Yeah.
Some of them are famous singers that you and your husband
Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine. There's like so many. I can't even think right now.
You
There's
get to
like
meet,
so many.
one of my favorites. You get to meet. There's so many out there. You ever get to meet Johnny Mathis?
No, I've never met him. I haven't heard anything about Johnny
He's up in
recently.
age. He's up in his mid-80s. He's still performing.
That's amazing.
And he's still alive.
We
thank
never
God.
stop performing. Never stop.
Yeah, keep going.
We always say if something happens, we want to pass away on stage because we will never stop performing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that way. You know, and that's why we love it at Lola so much, because we always get a lot of performers. They come up and party and jam and sing along with us. We had a guy, an R&B singer, Keith Washington. He was in town, and he came up and he sang, and he brought like another girl that was with another group.
There that night.
Yeah, you're always there when the celebrities come. Yeah.
He was very, very good. Very entertaining guy.
Yeah, and then the other night we had my sister from another mister. Her name is Patrice Isley, and she's related to the Isley brothers by marriage. And she came in, and we were rehearsing for a show that we're putting together, a tribute to the Sound of Philadelphia, where Wesley was a big part of for many years.
We had on the show one time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so she came in the other night, and we sang like a whole 20-minute medley of songs from Philly, and we had such a great time. And it's always a good spot where, you know, professional entertainers come in and sing with us at Lola's.
It's so nice to be like so many nice people out there. You got celebrities from all over the world come to Las Vegas. Las Vegas is a good place. You know, I tell people out there, always be kind to your friends out there, your neighbors. You know, I always come up my street, like this one, I saw the old man, the old lady. I hardly ever see them, but once in a while, I see them, they open the garage, they kind of trying to get in the car, and I start my car, I say, you need any help with anything? You know, I didn't have to do that. They said, Joe, Mr. Cortez, they call me, Mr. Cortez, you always do that. Every time you always want to come up to help us. That's the way you got to be with people.
That's right.
Help everybody out there. You know, there's a lot of individuals, seniors, especially seniors, they're out there. They don't have nobody to take them to the doctor, and nobody to go grocery shopping for them. They don't have a car. You know, sometimes you got to be kind and help them out with that.
Absolutely. And I want to give another special shout out, like you did, to Rick, our producer. When we first met Rick, it was actually at the Liberace Mansion. And what had happened was Wesley and I, you know, we did cruise ships for 23 years.
Right.
So one day we were, you know, getting ready to perform on a cruise ship, and this guy came walking in, and him and Wesley, they knew each other. They started hugging and kissing and everything. And I'm like, who is this guy? And he says, his name is Steve Shore, and he used to be like the radio, I forgot what his position was, but it was for a radio station in Philadelphia.
He was like a radio host.
Yeah, exactly. And then he had told us, you know, that he lived in Vegas now. We're like, oh, we live in Vegas. So after that, you know, of course, we stayed in contact. And he had a show called Under the Vegas Sun back in the day. And we did a show. We shot it at the Liberace Mansion, and Wesley got to play Liberace's piano. And Rick, he did like all the video and audio and stuff. So it was like such a nice time there. So I always appreciate Rick for that beautiful video.
You know, the Liberace piano, I think is, I don't know, they still have an exhibit in the same house over there. They have like Liberace Museum.
Yeah.
And they also have a place where they have the old cars here in Vegas, antique cars. One of Liberace's Rolls Royces in there. One day I think Wesley there one day, take pictures in front of it. Really nice. It looked like all glitter, the whole Rolls Royce is all glitter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You asked me about another celebrity I met who was really sweet, was Frank Sinatra. Back in the day before I met Wesley, I was a flight attendant with Pan Am because I had done Broadway musicals for so long, and I was only seeing like Philly, Jersey, New York, the tri-state area. That was it. And I'm like, there's a big world out here. Let's see, how can I travel the world and do it like, you know, for free. Okay, so I applied with Pan Am. They hired me on the spot. And then I used to work first class a lot. That's where I met Muhammad Ali, and he was so gracious and brought the kids from economy up, and they sat around him on the floor in first class, and he was like, you know, being like showing them puppets and telling jokes and everything. And then another time we had Frank Sinatra, and he was like up in there was like two floors back in the day with Pan Am, you know.
Had to take up. One time I called him a jumbo jet.
Yeah.
And one day I went in a jumbo jet. I was going to overseas. It was, I believe, I was going to either Korea or Great Britain. I forgot where, but it was a jumbo jet.
Yeah.
It had like a second floor. You know,
Yeah.
and I walked up the steps, and they had like a lounge there
Yeah.
with a piano there.
Yes.
And it was an individual playing the piano there.
Yeah.
And you could have drinks there.
That's how it was back in the day
back in the
when
day.
we flew. It was much more sophisticated and classy than it is now, that's for sure.
Well, they have some jumbo jets now. They have you can lay down.
Yeah.
A little bit cozy like with a curtain, like a little private room, first class.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have those. You know, not many people get to do that.
No.
But I got to do it a couple of times.
I know, right? It's beautiful.
You know, it's so great. All because of my boxing. I was able to travel around the world.
I
You know,
know.
I've been all over the world so many times, refereeing world title fights. But I always come back to my people back home. Here, I said, people here, we gotta love one another, please. I beg you to please be kind with one another. Love your neighbors, love your loved ones, your family. Always call your especially your parents. And now the Mother's Day is coming up on May 10th. You guys got to call your mother and take as many pictures as you can.
Yeah.
One day they won't be here no longer,
Yeah.
and you'll be sorry that you didn't spend more time with her, taking pictures with them. You know, that's so important. People say, Joe, why are you always taking pictures? I think pictures will last a lifetime.
That's right.
You know, and
Yeah.
a lot of individuals they don't take the opportunity to take pictures, especially with your mother or your father. You know.
Yeah.
I come from a single parent home. I always say my mother was the best in the world. She took care of us from day one.
Yep.
You know, you always got to remember, you guys out there watching, your parents, your mother always took you by the hand, changed your diaper, she fed you, she showed you how to walk, she was always hugging you, always caring for you. Until the day she died, she was still loving you and caring for you always. And that's why we always have to be loving and show that respect back to them.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people out there are not doing it, and I get upset when I see that happen.
Yeah. It's sad. They ought to be more like you and I.
There's some people out there that don't have a warm heart like I do. But you know what? Maybe you got to pick up a little bit of my habits. I got good habits of being kind and loving. I don't try to be the best. I just want to be one of the better ones out there. There's a lot of good people out there, but we have to share our love, caring, understanding, and always pay it forward.
Yeah. I also want to send out a special shout out to our friend Sal and his wife Michelle, who
Oh,
are
my God.
out on a cruise
Sal
now.
Santiago, and
Yes.
his beautiful wife,
Yes.
and his mother-in-law, Tina.
Yes. I love them so much.
Sal's wife, Michelle, they're so sweet, so caring. You know, individuals that you say, you know, those are the kind of people I like to be around with. People that will never hurt you, people that will embrace you. They always
Yeah.
every time you see them, they're always there to embrace you, show you the caring way. There's so many people out there that way, and I like to see everybody being that way.
Yeah.
You know, it's not difficult to be that way.
And because of Sal, we met some great friends, both you and I and Wesley. Sal introduced us to one of his good friends. His name is Tommy. And Tommy and Megan, they come to Lola's all the time. Anyway, Tommy is best friends with Bob Kellogg.
Oh, yeah.
So he started Bob coming to Lola's whenever he's in town. And he's with Kellogg's Cornflakes back in the day. But anyway, they're so loving and so warm-hearted. You know, all the people that we seem to align ourselves with.
He called me one day.
Yeah.
He was so nice, Bob Kellogg. Yeah, very nice man. I met him here in Vegas about 2 years ago. And people like him are the kind of people
Yeah.
that are really loving and caring.
Exactly.
And he has some surgery done, and he's doing very well.
He's doing
Speedy
good.
recovery. If you watch him,
Yeah, Bob, hey.
Speedy recovery. Get back on your feet again. Hope to see you here in Las Vegas soon. We go out for dinner, have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. We meet some great people
Yeah.
together.
Well, you know, meeting you and Wesley was a blessing because meeting you, I got to meet so many nice people around you guys.
Yeah,
You guys got so
same.
many people always around you. People always calling you up. And people wanna
Just
meet.
like
And
you.
when I go to Lola, I'm surprised the treatment that I get from all your friends that are there.
Oh, yeah, we love you.
And the Tammy, TJ.
Tammy Joe, yeah,
Tammy
TJ and Carlos,
and
the
Colin.
owners. I love
They
them
have
so
a
much.
beautiful, beautiful place. And I don't know if you put up a little clipping of you and Wesley that were performing there 5 nights a week, eh?
Yeah, we're there 5 nights a week now. Yes, and we love it, and it's just so special because everybody who works there and everybody that comes in there, we're all like family. We always hug and kiss each other before we start singing.
Exactly.
And it's just a good feeling. It is.
Well, I tell you, the people there that come there, everybody wants to have some fun. Everybody laughing, dancing, especially the dancing.
Oh,
when
yeah.
When you put some of that Latin stuff out there.
That's right.
Jennifer Lopez or
Yes. You, TJ, the first ones to hit the dance floor, and then, you just never know. We had somebody there from Channel 13 that you brought in a couple weeks ago. We had the big table from Channel 13, and one guy, he came back again like last week, and it's just a love fest. Once you come to Lola's once, you will come there all the time because we give so much love.
exactly. Just like after we get through with the show here, the ring behind me, I'm gonna do put on these gloves. I'm gonna do a couple of rounds. Shirley and I are gonna do some sparring in the ring in there behind us. You guys take care, and remember, keep your guards up at all time. Keep your guards up at all time. Remember, I'm fair but I'm firm. Touch them up. See you next week.
Bye-bye.